between Casey and Luke and the union of marriage. Luke, may I receive your bride and walk her forward, please. That's good. Now the two of you have each had separate paths that led you to this very moment. And that's what the unity candle will represent later on in the ceremony. How your two individual lives will now become one through marriage. And if there's a few things that I hope would carry along its way with the two of you throughout your journey together, it would be for you both to always be willing, from the heart, to listen, learn, and to love. And by that I simply mean to always have the ability to listen to one another. What it is that they have to offer, and what makes them feel whole, complete, and part of this relationship. Because after all, they just may be the voice of reason. And secondly, is the ability to learn. Always be willing to learn whatever it takes to help the other fulfill every desire, every wish, every dream, and goal that they may have. And lastly, most importantly, is the ability to love. To love one another unconditionally, which means no strings attached. It's an ongoing love. And this is the type of love I deeply hope the two of you would wish to express to one another each and every day. Keeping in mind, Luke, that Casey's happiness will always be far more important than your own. And also that Luke's happiness will be important as well. But the reason for that is because with that in your minds and in your hearts, I have no doubt that your lives together will be everything that you want it to be. So, sir, I'll ask you first. With your presence here today, alongside Casey, do you take her as your wife and promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting her always, allowing nothing or no one to ever come between the two of you? Do you take her as your wife, sir?
I do.
Thank you. In Casey, I'll ask you the same. With your presence here today, alongside Luke, do you take him as your husband and promising to love, honor, cherish, and respecting him always, allowing nothing or no one to ever come between the two of you? Do you take him as your husband?
I do.
And if I could have your bouquet. If the two of you would please face each other and hold each other's hands. Now, as you look into each other's eyes, you will see the very reason of what brought you here this evening, proving that at this moment, there is no one more important than who stands before you. So, Luke, as you look into those eyes, I'll have you repeat your vows. I, Luke, take you, Casey.
I, Luke, take you, Casey,
To be my wife.
to be my wife.
I will always be there for you.
I will always be there for you,
Through good times and bad times.
through good times and bad times,
Whether we are rich or poor.
whether we are rich or poor,
In sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health,
Through laughter and tears.
through laughter and tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Thank you, sir. Casey, as you look into Luke's eyes, I'll have you repeat your vows. I, Casey, take you, Luke,
I, Casey, take you, Luke,
to be my husband.
to be my husband.
I will always stand beside you
I will always stand beside you
through success and misfortune,
through success and misfortune,
through the joys and sorrows of life,
through the joys and sorrows of life,
in sickness and in health,
in sickness and in health,
through laughter and tears.
through laughter and tears.
I will love and cherish you.
I will love and cherish you.
I give you my pledge.
I give you my pledge.
Now the rings the two of you will soon be exchanging. They're not only tokens, but symbols of the very love and devotion that the two of you are expressing here today. And my hope is that in each and every day, with the two of you wearing those rings, may they constantly remind you of that promise and pledge that you have just made to one another. And in time, the rings themselves may lose beauty. But I hope that the two of you would not only value, but take honor in wearing those rings for what they truly represent. And through your friends and family, the beauty will shine through you both. And the two of you will always remain a wonderful example for all. So Luke, I'll ask you to take her ring. If you could place it up on her ring finger, and if you would please repeat, with this ring,
With this ring,
I seal my promise
I seal my promise
to be your faithful and loving husband.
to be your faithful and loving husband.
And I am so honored
And I am so honored
to call you my wife.
to call you my wife.
Thank you, sir. Jason, you can place his ring on his ring finger, and if you would please repeat, with this ring,
With this ring,
I seal my promise
I seal my promise
to be your faithful and loving wife.
to be your faithful and loving wife.
And I am so honored
And I am so honored
to call you my husband.
to call you my husband.
And at this time, if I could have the two of you step over to the Unity Candle. Oh, look, if I could have you take the one around, and if you would take this one facing towards your video. As I mentioned earlier, the two of you have each had separate paths that led you to this very point. And it's the individually lit tapers that are representing your individual lives. And in lighting the center candle, you will not only be uniting yourselves, but that of your families as well. So I'll ask you to take a hold of your individual taper, and if at the same time you could light the center candle, also symbolizing the creation of a new journey with new memories. And once lit, if I could have the two of you turn and blow out your individual taper. Perfect, thank you. The two of you will each be light for the other. Your bouquet? And Luke, Casey, if you love someone, you be loyal to them no matter what the cost. You will always stand beside them. You will always love and trust them. And you will stand your ground in defending them no matter what. Now, there's a poem I'd like to share with the two of you. And it is in part. And it says, I love you, not only for who you are, but for who I am when I am with you. I love you for taking your hand into my heaped up heart and passing over all of those weak or frivolous things you can't help but see there, but drawing out all of the good, the beautiful, and the radiant things that dwell within. Now I know the future may hold some ups and downs for you both, but if the two of you would always remember to look back at all the moments, all the memories, all of the reasons that brought you to this very moment. Like I mentioned earlier, I have no doubt that your lives together will be everything that you want it to be. So it certainly has been a joy to be part of the celebration with you both. On the 23rd of November, day for you both that will now mark your anniversary. With the power vested in me by the state of Nevada, it is my honor and my privilege to now be able to pronounce you as husband and wife. Luke, you may now kiss your wife, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you for the first time, Mr. and Mrs. Powell, the newlyweds.